episode 3 of Movies and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is a review show that reviews genre movies sometimes. I think I got it right that time.
I think so. It took you 2 tries, but you got it.
No, it took me 1 try.
Well, counting the last podcast.
Well, yeah, well, we're recording this one right after this one, and I got this one first shot.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
This is a whole different show. This is going to be released a week after the last one. Anyway, we're doing Stamp Day for Superman. 1954 it was released. It is 18 minutes long. It was produced by DC Comics for the Treasury Department to sell saving bonds, apparently.
Yeah. See, Superman sold out at an early stage.
Apparently he sold out. But it's number 2 in live-action films. I don't know how this is a live-action film, but according to Wikipedia, it is live-action film. And it's also in the public domain if you want to use Superman for your own use. We open up in space yet again.
Space.
And this is where you get the classic Superman intro, you know. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman, faster than a locomotive.
And a speeding bullet.
Yep. All the tropes are here. All the things you know about Superman. I always thought that was from the cartoon. And I think it is in the cartoon, but I think they got it from this. Because the cartoon was obviously in color, but...
It had come out much later than this, like 60s probably.
Right. Well, George Reeves is back as starring as the titular Superman. However, Lois Lane this time is being played by Noelle Neal. Did you notice there was a different Lois Lane?
I only noticed after looking at IMDb, like, oh, 2 different names. It's been different women.
Yeah, no.
I feel kind of bad about that. Did you notice?
I did.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, because they're 2 different characters. Phyllis Coates apparently played Lois Lane for the first season of the show, but stopped, and then Noelle Neal stepped in because Phyllis Coates had other projects she was working on at the time, and she wasn't available to do it.
Yeah.
So she stepped up, and I think this was released in like the 5th or 4th season, so where Noelle Neal was already in it. And apparently Noelle Neal, when they colored these later episodes, has red hair instead of the standard black that Lois normally has.
Oh, I could tell she had red hair from this black and white version, personally.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a different Lois.
Yeah.
But I guess, the U.S. Treasury Department was like, hey, Superman's popular, want to help us sell saving bond? And I guess they were like, DC was like, yeah, sure, why not? Did you know George Reeves as Superman crossed over with I Love Lucy?
No way.
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, we gotta find that episode and review that one.
That would be a different podcast altogether.
Stay tuned for our spin-off podcast of I Love Lucy spin-offs, crossover events.
Don't promise things because then we have to do it.
No, it's gonna happen.
No, it's not.
Yes, get at our email viewers, okay?
I am not doing another podcast. I'm already doing 3.
Yeah, make it 4, okay?
I don't have time to do the 3 that I'm doing.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway, we open up with Lois Lane and Clark Kent window shopping. Lois Lane's a lot more girly, I guess is the word, is a lot less hard-ass reporter, more, damsel in distress when she came and took over as Superman.
Yeah, I noticed. She seems more annoying.
Annoying? Is that what we're going with?
Yes. She definitely, belittles Clark a lot in this, and, doesn't praise Superman, but doesn't, I don't know, she's a bitch.
Wow.
I'll cut that out, don't worry.
No, don't cut that out.
I need to look good for these people, okay, TJ?
They already know that you're a racist. It's fine.
I'm a sympathizer for these white nationalists.
Anyway, we truly open up with a burglar alarm going off at a bank, and Superman says, and Lois says, I'm going to go call the police. So Superman goes around in the alley, puts on his we didn't discuss this in the last episode, his really bad Superman uniform.
It's good for the 50s, but bad for, every other era.
His cape doesn't even go up to his neck. There's, a gap in between his neck and the cape. It's it's like you're wearing a blanket. But anyway, he bends the comically easy bars in the bank vault and walks in.
I love that. That's a recurring theme in this.
that look where he finds one of the robbers there, and the robber's just like, I don't know why I did this, but the guy I did this with ran off, but I'm gonna stay here and turn myself in. Don't worry, Superman. And so Superman's like, okay. And he walks back out and rebends the bars.
Yes.
Back into place, perfectly in place, as if they were never bent in the first place.
Now, before he leaves, he says to the guy, make sure to tell them I wasn't here. Why does he say that?
They don't want to know Superman was there.
But why? Why not?
I don't know. I don't think people know who Superman is in this. At this point, they do, probably.
Yeah, because you said this is a few seasons into it. They have to know.
I don't know. I'm still focused on him bending the bars, honestly.
Yeah, that caught your...
Well, because I'm curious, because it was like perfect how he rebent them back into place. Did they just rewind the footage?
You know, that's a good question. I just thought it was like a rubber bars he used with them back and forth.
But the way he bent them back into place, they went perfectly back to where they were.
Maybe.
I mean, you're the movie guy. You're supposed to tell me this stuff.
Well, I mean, let me look at the clip. That's what I'm saying. Oh, hold on. They didn't reverse the clip because it's still a long clip. He runs away after the end. Hold on.
That's true.
It had to be like I said, rubber.
I mean, obviously they're not real bars.
No.
But it just looked like they do it from a different angle. So,
Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
So we cut back to the Daily Planet, where Jimmy Olsen is showing Clark his new typewriter.
I wrote that down, like the future modern typewriter is like the thing to talk about. It's tinier, more compact.
It's tiny, more compact, but it's also really expensive, apparently.
Really expensive.
But he didn't. But Lois is making fun of him about having a rich uncle, which is funny because in the comics, the Olsen family is rich.
Are they really?
Yeah, apparently the Luthers and Olsens are two old families in Metropolis.
Oh.
And in the comics, I think right now, Jimmy Olsen now owns the Daily Planet. He bought it.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty fascinating.
There's some comic book lore for you. But he's like, no, I didn't get a raise or have a rich uncle. I bought... What kind of stamps did he buy? He bought some kind of stamps.
He goes into like a little monologue of buying stamps and bonds and all that.
And they turned into bonds or something like that. Kenny bought them in school during Stamp Day, because apparently Stamp Day is a thing in schools in the 1950s. And then Clark's like, maybe we should write a story about Stamp Day. Let's go down into the school on Stamp Day. But Lois is like, no, I ran into the other...
I'm sorry, hold on. Because you're just saying, like, it's like, nah, I don't want to bother with stamps. We got a real story to bother with, Clark. That's so good.
That's true. But she did, run into the other robber so she can identify him.
Yeah.
She's got to go talk to the detective behind it. And so but before she does, she steals Jimmy's typewriter. She's like, I need that, Jimmy. And she's like, all right.
All right, Miss Lane.
And so then we get a tour of Stamp Day with Clark and Jimmy and a bunch of propaganda about the Treasury Department. And then Lois gets a phone call from the other robber. He calls and says, do you know who this is? This is Blinky. And Lois is like, oh yeah, we went to high school together. And Blinky's like, no, we met yesterday. He's like, and the robber guy's like, yeah, I'm going to give myself up, but I'm going to give myself up to you. Meet me in this place. And Lois is like, okay. Because, come on, what are you, stupid?
Yeah, like we said, she's just worse. She's just weaker, dumber, like what?
And she even says when she's captured later that I must be the stupidest person in the world to fall for this trap.
Yep.
And she is. Because she goes right and falls into his trap. And then we cut back to Clark and Jimmy talking to the principal of the school, I guess, about more stamps. But Lois hasn't showed up. She was supposed to meet them there, and she didn't show up. So he calls Perry White, the editor of Daily Planet, and he's like, I spent most of my life tracking you two. I don't know where she is. She wants to do something.
I liked him. I like him a lot.
Perry White is a staple in Superman lore.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's always been their editor-in-chief.
Is he like Jane
He's
Jonas?
the guy No, he's a good reporter. He's like he cares about the news and stuff like that.
Okay.
He's the guy that establishes Great Caesar's ghost.
What's that?
You know that saying, "Great Caesar's ghost."
I've never heard that in my life.
Really, it's pop culture reference.
What? Like what? What?
It's a pop culture reference. People say like, "Great Caesar's ghost," something, something, something.
So it's like the Great Scott thing from the last episode.
Almost, but this is, I think, was established here in this. But anyway, they find out that what?
The fuck's that? The Great Caesar's go. Okay, who's Great Caesar? Like a Caesar?
Like Caesar, yeah.
That's dumb.
They realize Lois is missing, and then we cut over to Lois tied up to a chair as the robber decides to play with the typewriter. And Lois, this is how she distracts him with the typewriter. It's like, I'm waiting for a phone call to see when my jewels are going to be sold. And after I sell my jewels, I'm going to shoot you and kill you. Why don't you just do it now? Why do you have to wait?
Yeah. Well, he says she's his bargaining chip, but
bargaining chip for what?
Exactly.
No one knows you're there. Shoot her. You have time before your jewels are sold. Go dump her body somewhere.
Take a dark turn right there. Wow. Dump her body
I'm just
somewhere.
saying. He could, instead of trying to learn how to use a typewriter, which Lois uses to get a message to Superman.
Exactly. I feel this episode trying to sell typewriters than it is trying to sell stamps. Because we don't really mention stamps that much in this episode.
Well, anyway, Perry apologizes for yelling at Clark when they find out Lois is missing. And then, Lois is teaching them how to draw people on the typewriter using numbers and letters and shit. And, how to use it, I guess because she knows how to use a typewriter. I don't know.
Yeah, this is...
I guess all newspaper people probably knew how to use a typewriter. They have to write their own stories.
But not to that extent where she draws his face out of...
Yeah, well... It felt like more of a secretary thing, honestly, the typewriter. I was getting it, but I just realized now it was probably common for newspaper people to use. Superman flies, Lois throws a paper airplane out the window that has a note that somehow gets to the Daily Planet, which delivered to Clark Kent. So he flies through the wall, breaks a lamp, uses it to tie up the bad guy after the bad guy shoots him 3 or 4 times, which never works, and breaks his gun. And then Lois is saved. Yay.
What's funny about, right after that, he turns to Lois and, what time is it? He's like, it's 12:30, Superman. He's like, I have no time for this. I gotta go have a really important meeting right now.
Right.
Flies away.
He can't wait for the police to make sure Lois is okay.
Nope.
He's got to go to Stamp Day and make a speech for all the children so they will buy stamps.
Yes. This man who's going to dump her body after getting diamonds is flying next to her while he goes give a stamp speech. Good job, Superman.
So he gives a speech, but then they go back at the office. Clark has, what are they, like stamp folders or something? What are they called?
Bonds?
No, whatever. He has 4 of them. He gives one to Jimmy, one.
Yeah, those things, yes.
He gives one to Jimmy, one to Lois, and he's got 2. And one's for him, one's for Superman. Like they're 2 separate people. What do you need 2 for, Clark?
I honestly thought one was for the man in the beginning. The thief that was like...
No. One's for him, and one's for Superman. He's got 2.
No, that's ridiculous. That makes no sense. I thought that for a split second when watching it. That makes no sense. I'm going with the other fiction in my head. Why would he, like you said, why would he keep that for Superman?
Yeah, he doesn't need it to.
Right.
He's literally Superman. And how do you go and buy a bond and open up your name? Your name's Superman? What's your social security number? Yeah, I get the feeling the whole show is ridiculous.
Yeah, overall, it's a thing. It happens.
It certainly is a thing.
I don't have anything good or bad to say about it. It's just
no. It's fine for what it is.
Exactly.
It's if you're curious about it, it's a curiosity for sure.
Yeah, it's in the public domain for a reason.
it's hard to even give it a rating because it's like, what do you rate this? It's not really a movie. It's an 18 minutes propaganda message. It's might as well be a PSA, you know?
I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's like, okay, it's there.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I think the movie was actually better than this.
Nah, if it was for the chase scene, that movie's better, but that chase scene. Whew.
Yeah, well.
What are you giving this?
Sure, why not? 5's fine. Superman gets a 5 overall in the 50s.
Yeah, because he's good, but not bad. Not in depth.
He's not murdering people like Captain America was, so. Anyway, these people aren't nothing like Superman. They don't deserve to listen to us anymore.
Go to the shop, buy yourself a carton of eggs, and suck it. And get some stamps.